Welcome to the CWA add-on authorization open house. Yes, that is clearly a mouthful, and you are definitely in the right place. If for whatever reason you can't have your video on, that's totally fine. This is going to be recorded. It's going to be sent to everybody who registered, and you will be able to have this recording at your disposal whenever you need it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because unlike the counseling programs open house, this is not an hour. This is just a half an hour. So in the essence of time, I do want to go ahead and get started. Can everybody see my screen? Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm Dr. Blanco. I am the CWA program director. In addition to that, I'm a clinical assistant professor and I teach all CWA courses. I'm also the school counseling partnerships lead, which is new and is launching this year. So I am also learning what that's about. In terms of my role as a CWA program director, I always share with everybody that I am a board certified behavior analyst and educational psychologist by trade, but I am a counselor educator by choice. I just love being a counselor. I love being a CWA counselor, and I especially love being a professor within the LMU programs. I'm absolutely proud of our programs. We also have other staff. Um, we also have Miss Cheryl Hugo, who's an admissions counselor. She's also here. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you for being here today. We have Dr. Marianne Francis, and she's what I call the assistant director extraordinaire because she's the assistant director for all of our programs. We have 3 counseling programs and also the CWA program. We have Miss Anna Baez. She is the academic advisor for all programs as well. Amazing and timely. Thank you, everybody who's joining us. I'm letting you guys in. We have this recorded, so you will be able to catch up. We're just getting started on introductions. We also have Professor Gobriel. She is a licensed marriage family therapist, and she typically sees students in the later parts of their programming because she's our fieldwork liaison. And we have Miss Aurora Larapar. She is our senior administrative coordinator. And if you're ever on campus, please feel free to stop by. She will be the face that you see, and she is very welcoming and she's very responsive to anybody who emails her. She takes care of the day-to-day operations in our office. Welcome, welcome, everybody. I had to get started right away in the interest of time, but this is recorded as I shared before. So thank you for being here. Whenever I talk about the CWA programs, I want to make sure that it's grounded in what's going on currently and in research. So this is the latest research, I believe is October 2024 from the National Ed Center on Statistics. And it just shows some pretty astounding statistics with respect to counseling and mental health for K through 12 schools. First and foremost, educators, both teachers and administrators across the nation, have reported an increase in disruptive behaviors. We also know that there has been an increase in chronic absenteeism. And I know that there are some conflicting reports on that, and that you will see that it is going down. However, it's still pretty persistent across the nation. Um, and of course, the most sobering statistic is that 75% of K through 12 students obtain their counseling and mental health services in schools primarily, which means we provide ongoing mental health services more than any clinical healthcare provider at this point. So schools are really important. In terms of absenteeism, with everything that has been going on, there was a recent study conducted by Stanford in June of this year, and it had estimated a 20%, 22% jump in absenteeism. I want you to keep in mind that that was before any type of immigration enforcement, so I would gather that it may have increased since then. So if you're here for CWA and you definitely want to be an agent of change, you are in the right place. Something that's going to be starting next summer is Assembly Bill 2771. It was proposed by Governor Newsom, and it requires all schools to have a school site absence intervention team, which requires somebody with CWA add-on authorization and experience. So again, we want to make sure that we're very current and we're up to date. And yes, even the state is recognizing that they need to do something different with respect to absenteeism. So CWA, it essentially authorizes any current PPS holder or somebody in our graduate program to improve absenteeism, to increase attendance. And I want to reiterate that the focus of this particular program is on underserved communities. So, what do we mean by underserved communities? We mean students that may have disabilities, such as having IEPs or 504s. It may be students that are English language learners, perhaps even undocumented, and so on. So, if you are looking to be an agency of change for attendance with the target focus of being populations that are historically underserved, you've come to the right place. In terms of our program, some considerations. First and foremost, we're the only standalone program in California at this time. Um, when there were changes with respect to the CWA requirements through the California Commission of Teacher Credentialing, many of the approved institutions were no longer. We were the only ones left standing. So that's a particular highlight, and that's why I continue to be proud of this program. In terms of the student makeup, when you're in these classes, there's going to be a variety of students from different backgrounds and different experiences. So it's going to be made up of what we call community members, those that already have their graduate degree and already have their PPS credential in school counseling, social work, school psychology, whatever it may be. And we also have current LMU graduate students. So those students, I have to fix that because it's embedded now in their program. So those students have not yet received their graduate degree, do not yet have their PPS credential, but they're very hungry and they're eager. I call them my CWA warriors to make changes and transform communities. Another thing to be mindful of is that this program is fully online. What does fully online mean? It means that we're meeting twice synchronously via Zoom, while the remaining courses are asynchronous or offline. So I want to make sure that's very clear about what fully online means at LMU. And of course, I don't have to tell anybody here this, but I'm just going to say it again. Attendance is mandatory. Everybody here who's interested in a CWA add-on authorization, of course, knows how important attendance is. And we do it because there is quite a bit of a load. It can be a lift. And we want to make sure that every candidate is meeting the deadlines and the requirements. So now let's talk about what the courses are. In order to obtain the CWA add-on authorization, there are three courses. EDSP 5303, it's your foundations course. EDSP 5304, this is your improvement and your remediation course. And then it culminates with the last course, which is essentially fieldwork. So let's talk a little bit more about fieldwork. In order to enroll in fieldwork, these are the three things that need to be in place. First and foremost, you need to be at a placement site. And if you are a current PPS holder, meaning you already have your graduate degree and you have your PPS in school counseling, school social work, school psychology, whatever it may be, you can obtain your hours at that site. You also need to show that you have professional membership. So we want to make sure that all of our candidates are involved in any organization. You might already be involved because you're a current PPS holder and you're really active in a particular organization, and that's fine. Just provide that to us. And lastly, we need updated liability insurance for the duration of the semester that you're in this program. It has to be active, it has to be current because you are obtaining fieldwork hours and you are interfacing with students. A little bit more about what those hours entail. It's a total of 150 hours. So if you are already employed and you have a site, then great. You should be able to obtain your hours there. But what do those hours look like? It's 120 hours that you are providing that interfacing with students, whether it's direct or indirect. The remaining 30 hours are to be partnering with outside organizations, outside community partners. And here's a list of what that may look like. So I wanted to share what those were because I do know that that's typically a question that people have. This is the schedule. Really important, right? So we are fully online, as I said before, and all of the coursework takes place on Saturdays. I say it all the time. We have breakfast together, we have lunch together, we have a snack together. We all get pretty chummy because we're together all day on Saturdays. And it's really great because while it's a fully online modality, we do build community and connection because we are together all day. And we, believe you me, it goes by fast. It feels as though it's long, but it's actually really fast. In terms of program advisory, well, we have our fabulous advisor here. Um, but you do have an advisor and she's very responsive. She's very timely. No, I'm not just saying that because she's in the room with me. She really is pretty fantastic. So she is your point of contact for any questions that you have about deadlines, enrollment, the classes, and so on. Here's some feedback. As I said before, pretty proud of the program. And we hope to continue to provide this program because it's very clearly necessary within the state of California and pretty much nationally as well. I can put these links in the chat. I'll do that once I stop sharing my screen. I also share that as part of the CWA program, we do offer a youth mental health first aid training. So the YMHFA training. So we have partnered with the California Department of Education, and for the last few years, we've been providing this training once per semester. This training has an estimated cost of about 170 or up to $170 per attendant, and we provide it at no cost to anybody who's in this program. So we're pretty proud to offer that, which is very clearly a training that is needed given that we're in a youth mental health crisis. And as of this fall, we also have opened it up to the community. So our other community partners within the area, we've offered them to be able to attend this as well. So I just wanted to share that. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and I'm going to open it up to any questions that anyone may have. Welcome, Dr. Francis.
Hi, thank you so much. Sorry I was late. I was at the previous open house for counseling. It's good to
As
see
was
you all.
I, but I left early.
Yes. It's good to see all of your names. I can't see any of you. It's good to see all of your names. Do we have any questions?
I see the cost of attendance. I can put the link in here.
Now, just a reminder, it is embedded for current counseling students. So for current counseling students, if you are admitted into the program and you're adding it to your PPS credential, you're only adding 3 additional units. Of all the courses, you'd be adding 5304, which is one of the 3 courses that Dr. Blanco reviewed. All the other classes are embedded within the entire program, so you would pretty much pay for just 3 additional units. Now, if you're coming in as just a strictly standalone program, you already have your PPS credential, then you would be paying for 9 additional units because you're taking all 3 courses.
Thank you, Dr. Francis. I do need to change that since our update.
Standalone. Would you like me to answer that question?
Sorry, I was putting a link in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Giselle, so if you're doing the standalone program, meaning the 9 units, you would be taking all 3 courses in one semester. So just one semester, just a few Saturdays. That's how long the program is. I think it's 14, probably 13 or 14 Saturdays to be specific.
Yes, because we are an fully online modality and we are on Saturdays only, we actually start later and we end earlier than the semester because of how the semester is
Right.
aggregated for most students. So it's 14 sessions, but we meet synchronously for 7 sessions. That's why I say it goes by very fast.
Thank you. Miss Hugo posted the cost per unit.
Yes. And thank you for sharing that you are eligible for the Golden State Teachers Grant. So, if you are a credential seeking, meaning non-degree seeking student, you are eligible for the Golden State Teacher Grant. And the Golden State Teacher Grant typically provides around 10,000 for students. So, yes, the cost of attendance is listed there. Thank you again. But you can also apply for the Golden State Teacher Grant. So that would minimize or decrease the total cost for this particular program. Good question. Important question.